What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Board Games Are For Everybody. Today, we are continuing on with Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Just trying to organize stuff here a little better. We are hopping into scenario number 6. And a couple things from the last part that I realized, first and foremost, is that apparently I was supposed to add these X cards into our deck to give us more options for things. So while I made the game easier for myself by not realizing, you know how movement works, I have been apparently forgetting to put things in my deck that I am supposed to have. So we've added those to our deck. Because we are level 2 now, we have also added our level 2 cards into our deck. It's only got one level 2. Is it only one level 2 card for each of them? Oh no, what it is that once we got that level up, we are allowed, there are multiple level 2 cards in our card decks, and on each level up we are allowed to choose one of the cards of our current level or less. I also don't believe that I added the extra 6 experience points from completing the scenario. However, I will leave that, make the game a little harder for myself in that sense. If I forget to put scenario experience onto my characters, that's my fault. But we will leave it for the time being. I think that's everything that we need to go over. That's was kind of addressed. So let's just hop into scenario 6, corrupted research. Let's go through the introduction. Your day starts out mundane enough, delivering a bloody piece of the tumor to some stodgy researchers at the university. You walk through the halls, getting all your manner of confused and dirty looks until you arrive at the door of the professor, Haltrip, foremost researcher of organic alchemy, or so you were told by the front desk. "Do come in," you hear a small, gruff voice on the other side of the door. Inside, you find an old Quattro, made even smaller by a hunched back. He's rooting around his messy office, looking for something. When he sees you, a look of disgust crosses his face, but once you produce the tumor piece, his eyes grow wide with amazement. You explain the whole situation, the disappearances, the vermlings, the black sludge, the earthquakes, and the tumor. You explain that there are other tumors out there, used in some nefarious unknown plot. And then the professor sits silent in thought for an uncomfortably long amount of time. Well then, he finally starts. We'll need to get to my lab with all haste. There we will be able to run some tests to figure out what it is composed of, its various signature alchemical compositions. Once we know that, then maybe we can come up with some sort of way to track the others down. You hand the tumor off to him, and then, because you have no other leads, you wait in his office for what feels like hours, staring at his disorganized assortment of books, papers, and dirty bottles of foul-smelling liquid. Then, very suddenly, your boring day becomes a lot more interesting. Haltrip bursts back into his office, his face spattered with blood. "Something's gone horribly wrong in the lab," he screams at you. And then you race down the hall much faster than you would have thought possible. You follow, and he points you to a room overgrown with bloody growths, several dead lab assistants, and a swarm of rats, with the growths must have morphed into monstrosities. "It's going to keep spreading," Haltrip frets. "Do something, please." Special rules. The objectives are growths. Each one has 1 plus L times C hit points. So each of our growths, like the obelisks from the previous scenario, a couple scenarios ago, are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow spaces on the board. They have, where'd it go? 1 plus L, which I can only assume is level, times character hit points. Now, things are in brackets, so if we're doing the math things, which I don't remember the name of, the order of something, then we're supposed to do bed mass, which means that we would do brackets first. So it would be 1 plus level times the amount of characters. So it would be 1 plus 1 because I guess it would be 1 plus our level, right? Because the things don't have a level. So it would be 1 plus 2 times the amount of characters. So it would be 1 plus 2, which is 3, times 2 characters. So each of these guys have 6 HP apiece. So we're just going to mark that so that we don't forget. Each of these guys have 6 hit points. And we also have a couple of new monsters. To deal with that we will get to in just a second here. I think I'm running out of 3 tokens. Apparently, I am not supposed to use all these 3 tokens for these guys. We are running short. Go 3 more here. Do we have enough 3 tokens to do all of them? I don't think we do. Nope, I think we are actually out of 3 tokens. Oh, here's 1 3 token. I thought there were 5 tokens as well, but I guess not. 3 and 3 up here. Get that wound out of my health pool here. We are gonna run out of hit points here, trying to put 6 on each of them. Oh well, we'll take from them if we need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's a 3. I found a couple 3s. That makes my life easier. Okay, so each of those growths have 6 HP. Oh, dropping money all over the place. And we do have a couple new monsters to deal with. We have some rat monstrosities. Everyone's most feared RPG enemy, the rat. And we've also got these guys, black sludges, which are level 1, black sludge. They have a shield of 1 plus 5 HP. And the rats, also level 1, are they have 4 HP. But if a rat is killed, all enemies adjacent to the rat suffer 1 damage. And in the case of the 2 elite rats that we have, they have 7 HP, and on death, all adjacent figures gain 2 damage. And those elite rats always have advantage. I just realized that I do not have my characters. I apparently didn't get my characters, so let me grab those out of the box quickly. Go through all the time of setting this stuff up, and we completely forget to get our characters in order to actually play the game. And I think I might have knocked the camera here. A little readjusting. Okay, so that's pretty much it for setup. So I guess we're just gonna get into things. Oh, I lied. That's not it for setup. We have to grab our checkmark cards there, our achievement cards, see if we can get some sort of goal completed so that we can gain more experience. And I don't know if I want to do shopping. I I do have some money, and I kind of want to get a helmet on our Red Guard because it would allow us to basically negate any ×2 that comes up from the enemy, which would be pretty helpful. I think that would be pretty helpful. So maybe we'll take a look at the shop before we start. Oh, just tossing cards all over the place. Alrighty, 2 to the Red Guard, 2 to the Hatchet. So for our Red Guard, let's see what we got. We have the Gambler. Kill a monster with an attack that has disadvantage. Or Straggler, never use a short rest. Now, I think I'd rather go with the Gambler on this one. Kill a monster with an attack that has disadvantage. I use short rests quite a lot because I don't like using long rests. I typically just wait out whatever we end up with. So I think we're going to go with the Gambler. Kill a monster with an attack that has disadvantage. That's what we're going to try and accomplish for our Red Guard. And for the Hatchet, we have Scrambler, never use a long rest, or the Egoist, collect more money tokens than any other character. And seeing that there are no money tokens or treasures at all on this current board, I think we're going to go with the never long rest, seeing as it's something that's probably not going to happen anyways. So we're just going to put that down here with our items, I guess. It's actually a pretty good place to put it. And then we're going to leave the Egoist where it is. So let's just get these guys back in the bag here, and then we will take a very quick look at the shop because I think I might want to buy a helmet for our Red Guard. Let's take a look at the shop here. This is everything we currently have access to. I don't know if this other stuff we're going to get access to in the shop or if it's just specifically for treasures and stuff. But I guess we'll see as we continue on. Eagle Eye Goggles. During your attack, gain advantage for the entire attack. When attacked, consider any ×2 attack modifier card the enemy draws to be 0. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. During your turn, gain shield 1 for the rest of the round. Shield isn't bad. When attacked before drawing an attack modifier card, the attack gains disadvantage for the attack and you gain a shield of +1. See, I still don't understand why this one that just gives you 1 shield is worth 30, but this one that before drawing a modifier card, the attacker gains disadvantage and you gain shield is only 25. Like, that's pretty crazy. I'd rather just go with the studded leather instead of the chainmail. But I guess if you have multiple characters buying stuff, there's only so many things. With 2 players, I think I kind of luck out. If you have 4 people playing the game, that can be a lot harder. During your movement, add +1 to a single movement. That's not too bad. During your movement, add jump to the entire move. That could also be pretty helpful. Jump has served us pretty well. When damaged by an attack, gain shield of 1. During your ranged attack, add stun to a single attack. Now, we do range on the Hatchet quite a bit. Adding stun could be pretty nice because stun would stop them from attacking us. Now, I don't know how much attacking they're going to be doing, but we'll see. During your single target melee attack ability, attack any one enemy 2 hexes away. So a melee attack could be 2 hexes away. That wouldn't be too bad. And both of our guys already have a small item, so we would have to sell our small item in order to grab one of these. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to buy the helmet for the Red Guard. So what we're going to have to do here is that the Red Guard only has 18 golds, but you know, these guys are buddy. So our Red Guard is going to use up his 18 gold, putting him at 0 gold. And then our Hatchet here is going to be a bud. He's going to use up 2 of his gold to help out the Red Guard, leaving him with 21 gold remaining. And our red guard is now going to have the iron helmet, which we will write down on our sheet here. Iron helmet. Okay, so with that, I think we're going to get started with our scenario. Scenario number 6, corrupted research. Let's begin. So first things first, I'm going to draw for our enemies here. Our black sludge is going to be priority 66. It has a movement of -1 with 1 movement, so it's not going to be moving anywhere, but it has an attack of +1 on 2 attack, so it's doing 3 damage at a range of 3. So we want to try and stay away from the black sludges and focus on these rats for the time being, I think. Our rats are using Unstable Frenzy. They have a movement of +0 off of 1, so they're going to be moving 1 space. Monstrosity suffers 1 damage, so any rat that attacks is going to suffer 1 damage. And they have an attack of +1 on 2, so they would be doing 3 damage. And target all adjacent enemies, so any enemy adjacent gets targeted. So let's see what we got with the red guard here. We have quite a few new cards, so we're just going to have to kind of take a brief look here at some of the new stuff. Our level 2 that we got added has an attack of 4 at range of 2, and it allows you to place a leaf or holy magic counter into the waning. Or you have a movement of 5 plus loot each hex that you enter with this movement and gain 1 experience, but you have to discard the card. Speaking of gaining experience, I suppose I should actually set my counters here properly. Now that we are level 2, our red guard starts with 12 HP, and our hatchet is going to start with 9 HP. He only gains 1 extra HP compared to what we had before, whereas the red guard gained 2. Okay, back to taking a look at stuff. Shield 1, Immobilize, targets all adjacent enemies. And we get to place a holy thing in waning, attack of 2. If we use a holy counter, we get an attack +1 plus muddle. Attack of 1 at range 3. If you use fire, attack +1 plus pull, and you gain experience. Movement of 2. Attack of 1 at range 3. If you use a holy, you get an attack of 1 plus pull of 2 and 1 experience. Attack of 4. Add +3 attack if the target has negative conditions. But you have to discard the card. That's a good card though. If you have a negative condition on one of the enemies, this is a powerful card, but you do have to discard it. Move 2. The next 5 turns, enemies entering an adjacent hex to you suffer 2 damage. I still really like this card, but it does get discarded once it is used up. I think we're just going to try and take these rats out for the time being. This elite rat is only going to be moving 1 space, which we're safe from. If we just don't move and we can potentially take out these rats, they only have 4 HP. So if we can take both of these rats out before they even get a chance to move, then we won't suffer that 1 damage from them moving closer to us, because it only does damage adjacent to them. So we need some range moves here. Attack of 2 at range 2 to 2 targets. That is pretty good, because if we get a good modifier, we could potentially kill those rats pretty much right away. Now, we do have to use the pull, so I'm wondering if attacking with the hatchet first would be a good idea to try and get some damage on them, because if we kill the targets, then that pull isn't going to activate. So I think that's what we're going to try and do, is we're going to try and attack with the hatchet first. Do we have something? We still have that 1 that can attack 2 targets. attack of 3, range 4 to 2 targets, but I have to discard. Where's that attack? Here it is. Attack of 1, range 3 to 3 targets, plus muddle. So this is what we're going to be using on our hatchet. We're going to be using that one. So let's see what else we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 away. So we would have to maybe move. We could try and come up this way. Try and stay away from the rat, but try and come up this way, because we're going to have to come over here to get this growth. And then this one we can kind of deal with on the other side here. So long as we remember to try and kill a monster with an attack that has disadvantage. So we're going to have to find a way to disadvantage ourselves. Hopefully they can disadvantage us. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're doing that, and then I think we're just going to try and get some movements, maybe? Move 4. On your next 4 moves, add 2 to the move. That's not bad. Move 3, but we need a bottom because we're using our top attack. Add +1 attack to all of your attacks this round. That's not terrible. But if we did that, we could potentially take out these rats with the hatchet. Movement of 6. Move with jump. If we did movement with jump, we could get up to that growth on a movement of 3. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then next turn, we can try and take that growth out. So we're going to be, I want to attack with my hatchet first. So we're going to go 35 on the hatchet. Put that there for now. And then we just need something over 35 for the red guard here. And we need a bottom, move 2 or pull 2 with range 3, move 4 or shield 1, move 6 with jump, but we would have to discard, move 3, or all attacks targeting you gain disadvantage this round. I want to be disadvantaged. I don't want my enemies to be disadvantaged. Movement of 3 and imbue a holy. Heal 2 at a range of 2. Attack 2, loot 1. We don't have a whole lot on the bottom here. Move 4 with jump. All enemies moved through suffer 1 damage. Now, we really wouldn't be... I guess we don't have to move that far because we don't want to get hit by that rat. So maybe we'll just use this 40 at move 2. And we want to go after the hatchet, so we're going to do that. So our order is going to be hatchet. If I can move this. Hatchet, red guard. Is this the rat monstrosity? Black sludge, and then rat monstrosity. Okay, so starting off with the hatchet, we're going to start by using our attack of 1 at range 3 to 3 targets with a modifier of +1, so each of these rats are going to take 2 damage. So rat number 4 and rat number 9 are both going to take 2 damage. And they gain muddle, which I am not going to bother even putting on at the time being. I may as well put it on, who knows. Not in my luck, we're going to end up getting a no attack on our red guard, seeing as that seems to be the trend. What was the other one? Rat number 9. So both of them have 2 damage, and they also gain muddle. Find a couple muddles here. If I can find any muddles. I found 1 already. Well, you would think it wouldn't be so hard to find a muddle. You'd think that they would just be available. Oh, I did find some health counters. Those shouldn't be in there. I can't for the life of me find a muddle. Ah, there's one. I was going to say, you can't tell me that this thing only has one muddle in it. Okay, and then we are going to be using our movement of 3 with jump. And we're going to move 1, 2, and then we're going to jump for 3. We just can't stay in the same spot, but we can move over it. Which is going to end our turn for the hatchet. And then we are going to start our turn with the red guard by using our attack of 2 at range of 2 on 2 targets. So we are doing 2 with an advantage of -1, which is unfortunately not going to kill either rat, because we are only doing 1 damage to each of them, so I guess it's a good thing that we have muddle on them. So we are going to be doing 1 damage to each of these rats. So each of them only have 1 HP left. And I don't want to be next to them when they die. However, if they were to attack, they would both take 1 damage each. So I'm wondering if it's worth letting them attack me so that they kill themselves. But I would have to hope that they get a bad modifier, because they are doing 3 damage plus whatever modifier they get, plus 1 damage each for dying. So I would have to... 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. I'd be taking 8 damage. So I'd only be left with 4 damage on my red guard. And I don't know if it's worth taking 8 damage just to take 2 enemies out when I could just do it next turn. So I think what we're going to do is we're not going to worry about taking the rats out this turn. But 8 damage isn't that bad. We could heal ourselves. Is it a stupid thing to do? Yes. Absolutely a stupid thing to do. But I think it would be okay, honestly. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. We're going to use our movement of 2. Our bottom attack here. Movement of 2. And we're going to go 1, 2, right in between rats 9 and 4. That is going to end the red guard's turn, and we are going to move on to the black sludges. Now, the black sludges have a movement of 1 -1, so they aren't moving anywhere, and they have attack of 3 at range of 3, but because neither of these guys are within range, they're not going to be doing anything to us. Also, I don't know if these count as... I believe that these guys count as spaces that can't be walked over, so I don't even know if these sludges would even be able to move past those, because there's a bunch of obstacles everywhere else. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that is going to end them. So we are going to move on to the giant rats, who have a movement of 1 plus 0. Now, neither of these guys are going to move because they are going to be able to attack. And the elite rat is going to move towards the hatchet because it has because the hatchet had priority. And now these 2 rats are going to attack the red guard, starting with rat number 4, who is going to be attacking us with a +0 modifier. So he is doing 3 damage to us. I didn't even consider that. Luckily, they didn't get a modifier. That would have been bad. So they are going to be doing 2 damage +1, so 3 damage to us, targets all adjacent enemies. So this rat is going to attack us for 3 damage, bringing us down to 9 damage. It is going to deal 1 damage to itself, which is going to kill it. And because it's died and we are adjacent to it, we are going to take an additional 1 health, putting us down to 8. Remaining health. Now, rat number 9 is going to attack us. again with the attack of 1, modifier of 0, and he is going to do 3 damage to us, putting us down to 5. He is going to kill himself by taking 1 damage. I also realized that I was supposed to use disadvantage on both of these guys, but that's okay. It happens. We're just going to take a little extra damage. That is fine. That rat is dead. And we are going to take 1 additional damage because it died. So, those 2 rats are dealt with. Go us. Even though it costed us 8 damage in order to take them out, that is okay. That wraps up this turn. Let's head on to the next round. So, starting with the red guard here, I think we should try and take out this elite rat before we start taking on these growths. So I think we're just going to try and do some attacks. We're going to start with this attack of 4 at range 2 because it's a good way to do it. So we're going to do attack of 4 at range 2. We're also going to draw for our enemies here. I should have done that first. The rats are going to be doing the nothing special. Rats are doing nothing special. Movement of +0 and attack of +0. So they're doing 1 movement with 2 attack with a priority of 39. Our black sludges are doing nothing special. No one is doing anything special this turn, apparently. Black sludges are also doing nothing special at a priority of 57, movement of +0, attack of +0 at range of 2. So we're going to be doing our attack of 4 with a range of 2 against... Oh, no, that may not work. He is not 2 away from us. However, we could try and go after the elite rat, but I think I want to try and take it out before it gets close to anybody. Because if it goes after the hatchet and deals damage to the hatchet, then he's going to suffer additional damage like the red guard did for being killed. 2 additional damage because the elite rat deals 2 damage instead of 1. So do we have something that is a range of 3? Attack 1 at range of 3. +1 attack. If you use a... I didn't use my thing that lets me get anything. I thought I did, but I didn't. +1 attack, plus pull of 2, +1 experience. If you use... Do I have a bottom that gives me a... Holy? I do. The shield of 3 would give me holy. That wouldn't be too bad. But I'd have to discard... Oh, but this movement of 3 does. 1, 2, 3. Was that other one... was that range... 1, 2... Was that a range of 3 or a range of 2? That was a range of 2. We don't have a range of 3 anywhere? Well, we have this range of 3 with a +1 attack and pull 2. It could be useful having a pull of 2. I would just have to make sure, but that would bring it too close to us and we would suffer an additional damage for it dying, which our red guard's already pretty low. So that probably wouldn't be a good thing to use that pull 2. So let's see what else we got here. I just need something with a range of 3. Just need something with a range of 3. Range of 2, range of 2, range of 2. Okay, attack of 1 at range of 3. Plus 1 if we use fire, but it also has the pull 2. Do I have any good bottom things or any of my bottom ones? Because this has a movement of 2 up here that I could use. Do I have a bottom range of 3 on anything? I do not. I do not. I could use this heal of 4 to myself. Healing would be beneficial. And then I could just try and do an attack and hope that the hatchet has a strong move that will allow it to... You know what I could do? I have an idea here. I think I know how we can take out this rat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use this movement of 3 to give us a holy token in our waning. And then we are going to use... Where was that attack of 3 at range 2? Here we go. Attack of 1 at range of 3 plus 1 if we use holy, plus a pull of 2 and 1 experience. That's what we're going to be using. I do want the red guard to go first, so we're going to be going 14 on the red guard. That was a really long decision of what we wanted to do there. Let's see what we've got with the hatchet here. So we're going to be doing at most 1 plus 1, possibly times 2. We are going to be doing at most 4 damage and at the least 0 damage. So we want to try and get, if he pulls him, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm trying to see if I can put him in a position where no one's going to get attacked. I don't think I can. I think no matter what happens here, no, I can do this. I can make this work. I can make this work. Okay. So what do we got with the attack of 3 at range 4 on 2 targets, which we only have 1 target, so that would not work. Attack of 2 on range 3, attack of 3 on range 3, attack of 6 on range 3, but we would have to discard. We are going to need to do range attacks. And if I make this work properly, we're only going to need a range of 3 to make this work. So what range of 3s do we got? Attack of 2 at range 3, attack of 2 at range 3, attack of 3 at range 4, but we'd have to discard the card. Attack of 2 at range 4. Attack of 3 at range 3, I think might be our best bet. I want to save that 6 for a little later on. So I think we're doing an attack of 3 at range 3. And do we have a bottom attack anywhere? If we have a bottom physical attack, we could also try and attack this growth this turn. But I don't know if we have a physical attack on the bottom here. Oh, we do. We have an attack of 2. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. We want to go second, so doing 24 first. So our turn order is going to be red guard, then hatchets, then rat monstrosity, and then black sludge. So starting off with the red guard, we are going to use our attack. No, sorry, we're going to use our movement of 3 first in order to gain that holy token here into our waning. And we're going to move in front of this growth here. And then we're going to be using our attack of 1 at range of 3. We're going to use our holy waning in order to add 1 attack. So we're doing 2 attack with a modifier of -1. So we are doing 1 damage. 1 damage to this rat, which is rat number 7. And we are going to use our pull of 2, which is going to bring him over here. And before our turn ends, we are going to use our Fateful Compass, allowing us to force one of our enemies within range of 3 to perform a movement of 2 in the direction that we tell it to go. And we are going to move him to this space right over here. That is going to end the turn for our red guard. And we are going to move on to our hatchet, who is going to start by using his attack of 3 at range of 3 to attack the elite rat number 7 over here. So we're doing an attack of 3 with a modifier of +1. So we're going to be doing an attack of 4 against this elite rat. Let's just switch out this counter for a 5 damage. Is what I would say if there were actually 5 damages. I don't think there are. I know there are 10s, but I don't think there are 5s. So let's just grab 5 damage here. And 5 damage onto rat number 7. He has 2 hit points left. And then we're going to use our attack of 2 just to attack this growth over here. So we're doing an attack of 2 with modifier -1. So this growth is going to take 1 damage, putting it down to 5 damage. And that is going to end our hatchet's turn, which is going to lead to the rat monstrosity's turn. They are currently doing nothing special, so they are doing a movement of 1, which they are both an equal distance away. I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to do one movement, so it's just going to move up there. And it's doing an attack of +0, but it is an adjacent attack, which means he cannot target either of us. So it's going to move on to the black sludges with a movement of 0 and an attack of 2 with a range of 0, but neither of us are within range, so neither of those guys are going to be attacking, which is going to end the round. That was a long round. There was a lot of strategizing going on in that round. That took a little while. So let us continue into the next round here. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to take out this elite. So we just need a range of 2 attack, and we need to do something that is going to guarantee us a kill. I'm wondering if there is a way to put disadvantage on myself. I guess by doing a range attack close to an enemy, but I really don't want to take 2 damage. That would be unfortunate. But really shouldn't be a problem, because we can heal ourselves. We can heal ourselves quite substantially. We have a heal of 4. That also gives us 1 experience. So we can do that next turn. We have enough hit points to survive a 2-hit damage. So let's draw for our enemies here. I keep forgetting to do this. Our black sludges are going to be using Septic Hex at priority 85. Closest enemy in line of sight, regardless of range, suffers 1 plus level divided by 2, rounded up, of damage. And the black sludge heals itself for 1 damage. And it's going to put a leaf into the waning. The black sludges don't have any damage on them yet, so that's not a problem. The rats are going to be using Swarm at a priority of 21, movement +1, an attack of -1, add +1 attack if the target is adjacent to any of the monstrosity's allies. But that rat's going to be dead in 2 seconds, so it's not a big deal. So we just need to do a movement here. So we can just use anything for a basic movement, really. Should have to see what stuff we don't have to worry about. All adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage. That's not bad. We can use that. But we do want to go before this. We do want to go before the rat does. So we're going to need something pretty low here. What's our lowest number? This 6 is our lowest number. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be okay. At least we won't have to discard the card, so we can, once we do a short rest, we'll have access to that again. And it's not one that I'm going to be using too much. This top guy here is definitely helpful, but I don't think we need it quite yet. I think we'll be able to manage. And then we're going to be using this guy here, our attack of 3 at range 2 plus immobilize. I think we just have to do an attack of 3 at range 2. I don't know if it matters which one. We'll get rid of our pull because the pull's not that big of a deal. So our red guard's going to be going first with 6 there. And our hatchet is going to continue attacking this growth over here. We're going to try and take him out. So I need not a ranged attack unless I move a little bit, and then I could use a ranged attack. I guess that would be fine. But I'd prefer to try and take this guy out first. So do I have another melee attack? Just an attack of 2. That's not going to do much. What we could do, though, is we could move, and we could do this attack of 3 at range 4 against 2 enemies. So we could move out of the way and then attack both the growth we're in front of and this growth over here for an attack of 3. But we'd have to discard the card. But I think that's actually not a bad... That's not a bad strategy. So we need something to move. We just need a basic movement. It's not a huge deal. May as well just use this one here. 39. What are the rats at? 21. Want to try and go before... Although it won't matter, the rat, because hopefully the red guard's going to kill it. So this should be okay. So we're going to go 39. So our current order is going to be red guard, rat monstrosity, hatchets, and then the black sludge. So starting with our red guard, we're going to use our movements of 2. We're just going to use our basic movements in order to move in front of the rats, and then we're going to use our attack of 3 at range 2 at disadvantage. So we're going to be doing an attack of 3 with +0, so that rat's going to take 3 damage, which is going to kill it. And we are going to suffer 2 damage for killing the rat while we are adjacent to it. That is going to put us down to 2 HP. But the rat is now defeated. And we have successfully completed our gambler, which is to kill a monster with an attack that has disadvantage. So that has been successfully completed. I'm just going to have to remember that I did that. I was gonna put it somewhere so that I remembered, but I'm just gonna have to remember that I did it. And then we are gonna move to the rats, but the rat is dead, and the ones in the other room don't matter until we open the door. So it's gonna move on to the hatchet, who is going to move 2 to come to this center space here. And then he's gonna be using his attack of 3 at range of 4 towards 2 targets, which this is going to have to be discarded. So I'm going to have to find a discard pile since the sludges are kind of there. We'll just put our discards down here. So we're doing an attack of 3 with a modifier of +1. So we're doing an attack of 4 to this one here, which is going to leave it at 2 HP. And we're going to be doing an attack of 4 against this one over here, which is going to leave it at 1 HP. And that is going to end the turn for the hatchet, which is going to bring us to the black sludges using Septic Hex. The closest enemy within line of sight, which technically no one is within line of sight because there are obstacles in the way, but that's okay. The hatchet is the closest in sight. Regardless of range, suffers 1 plus level divided by 2 rounded up. So 1 plus 1 divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2, which is 1, rounded up, which is 1. So the hatchet is going to take 1 damage. And both of these guys are going to be doing that. So 1 damage with a modifier of +1, I guess. So each is going to do 2 damage to us. So that brings us down to 5 HP on the hatchet. We really need to get rid of these sludges if that's the kind of thing that they're going to be doing. And they would both heal 1, but seeing as neither of them have taken damage, however, we do get to put the leaf into the waning here. And our black sludges are going to be done up here. Yeah, damn. We need to kill those sludges. That was pretty brutal. 4 damage just right off the bat like that. Okay, so that is going to bring us to the next round. We need to start attacking those sludges. Maybe I should have held off on this this guy here and attacked that sludge instead. Now both of them have 5 HP with 1 shield, which is pretty brutal if that's the kind of thing they're doing. So we're going to need to heal ourselves for sure. That, regardless of distance, is pretty nuts. Regardless of range, because you can't even get a range of it. That's crazy. We want to try and get closer to these guys. Do I have movement with jump anywhere? I do have movement with jump. Movement of 3 with jump. So I could go 1, 2, 3, get in front of this guy, or 1, 2, 3 would be better because most of my attacks are range attacks. And then I could do an attack of 3 at range 3, add 2, and gain 1 if the target has your favorite token. Oh, speaking of gaining experience, I didn't gain my 2 experience for using this double throw here. So it's gonna 2 experience for the hatchet. Okay, so we are going to be using that movement of 3 with jump. I think that's a good idea for us to get back there and start attacking. I don't have to worry about these growths because they aren't attacking us back. We can deal with them once these sludges are taken care of. I probably should have prioritized them in the first place. And then we're going to do... I'm wondering if it's good to use our attack of 6 right now, because that's going to discard the card. But I think it might be good to try and get this sludge out of here. I think it might be good to try and get the sludge out of here. So we're going to have the hatchet go first at 17, possibly, depending on what these guys are doing. Nothing special for the black sludge. And weakening bite, so 34, 57. So yeah, the hatchet's good like that. That's my discard. And maybe our red guard can hold back and try and attack some of these guys, or our red guard could also jump up here and try and take on the other sludge. We could try and do that. That might be a good idea, trying to take on these sludges and then working backwards to come take out all of these growths. Maybe that would be a good idea. So let's do that. Where's that? So movement of 6. Now 52, that's fine, that works. I guess I didn't have to draw for the rats, but we drew for the rats. Oh well. Oh well. So our priority is going to be the hatchet, followed by the rats, which don't matter, followed by the red guard, followed by the black sludge. So our hatchet is going to start by using his movement of 3 with jump in order to move 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to use our attack of 6 at range 3. We gain 2 experience for using it, but we have to discard the card. That's going to be with a modifier of +1, so we are doing 7 damage to this sludge, -1 because of its shield, so that's still 6 damage, which is going to kill sludge number 6, so that's nice. We get 1 sludge out of the way at least. And then that's going to bring us to the red guard, so we're going to be using our movement of 6 with jump. We have to discard this card, but we gain 1 experience for the red guard. And we're going to move 1, 2, 3. Am I using a range? 4. And then we're going to use our attack of 4 at range 2. We are going to choose to imbue this holy into our waning. And then we are going to be doing an attack of 4 with a modifier of nothing, of course. Par for the course for the red guard. I don't think the hatchet has gotten the do nothing yet. It has just been the red guard pretty much. I guess I should shuffle the whole deck and not just... par for the course. Our red guard is notorious for doing no damage. Just no damage. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, so that's going to end that. We're heading on to the Black Sludge, which is doing a movement of 1, doing an attack of +0 at range 2. So there is no reason for the Black Sludge to move because it would give him disadvantage to move. This is very bad. I did not consider potentially not doing any damage. I have made a very big mistake. I am only at 2 HP. So unless this Black Sludge gets nothing, gets his do nothing card, the red guard might die. And that is absolutely my fault. This is bad. This is bad. So our Black Sludge is not going to be moving because it would put him into disadvantage. He is doing an attack of 2 at range 2 with a modifier of -1. -1. Oh my god. I forgot about minuses. We're fine. We're going to take 1 damage. We are alive with 1 HP. Jeez. I forgot about minuses. I was freaking out over nothing. It's fine. It's good. It's all good. It's all gravy. We're fine. We're good. That's going to bring us to the end of the round. And we're going to go into the next round. So we need to heal ourselves. We're going to use this heal of 4. Absolutely. No question. No question we're using this heal of 4. Our Black Sludge is at priority 85. Going to be using Plasma Ward, which is a push of 1 and poison to all adjacent targets, and an attack of +1 at range 2. Is that one or the other? It must be both, I guess, for them. So he's going to be doing a push of 1 plus poison to all adjacent, but no one is adjacent to him, so he is fine. And he's going to be doing an attack of +1 at range of 2, which is going to hit our red guard. So I think we need to try and kill it before that happens. So with our red guard, we're going to be using our heal of 4 to heal ourselves, obviously. So we need a bottom range attack, which we don't have. So I think we might just have to double up on healing, because we could use this heal of 2. So we get 6 damage back this turn, and we're just going to have to try and move up with our hatchet and get him to try and take out that slime who has 0 damage on it. It is not going to be easy. So we need to get some movement going on. An attack of 5 at range 3 would be nice, but I would need to get closer to it, and I don't think I have any movement on the top. We have this movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. That would put us in range, but we'd also have to discard this card. We are bleeding cards with the hatchet right now, but I think it's our only option. We need to try and take this sludge out, or we're just going to get wrecked. So I think that's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be using that attack of 5. We're going to be using this movement of 3. And we're going to see how it goes. So our current order is Hatchet, Red Guard, Black Sludge, and then Rat Monstrosity, which doesn't matter because there are currently no Rat Monstrosities. I'm wondering if what we should do here is just clear out all the enemies and then start backtracking to take out all the things, because then it's just a race against our cards. We have to make sure we don't run out of cards before we kill everything. That is an option. That's a way we could do it. Try and take all of our enemies out, but we've been wasting all our high-powered cards on these sludges, so we're going to have to be careful going forward here. We're definitely going to have to be careful going forward. So we're starting off with the hatchet. So we're going to be doing our movement of 3 in order to get more into range here. I don't think we need to go super close. We have a range of 3. So we're going to be doing this attack of 3 at range, or sorry, this attack of 5 at range of 3. This is going to be discarded. We're going to put wind into the waning. And we're also going to gain an experience for using that card on the hatchet. So we're doing an attack of 5 with a modifier of +0 at range of 3. So we are doing 5 -1 for the shields. We are doing 4 damage to this sludge, which leaves him with 1 damage, which is not what I wanted. Attack of 1. Sorry, sludge 1 is what I meant to say, not attack of 1. That's going to bring us over to the red guard. All attacking targets gain disadvantage. I don't think we can afford to do that. We just need to heal ourselves. So we're going to be doing our heal of 4 to self. So we gain... That's my discard. Oh, did I? Oh, I don't know if I pulled from my... I think I may have accidentally pulled from... No, I didn't. I didn't pull from my discard. I just moved my discard over. So we're going to be doing our heal of 4 to ourselves, which is going to put us up to 5 HP. So we are not currently dying. And then we're going to do a heal of 2 within range of 2. We are within range of 2. We're going to heal ourselves for 2. It's also going to put fire into the waning, which is going to put us up to 7 HP. That is going to end our turn. That black sludge did not die like I wanted it to. So he's going to start by doing a movement of 1, because it has a movement of 1. Although, from how I read this, the instructions say if it doesn't say to move on the card, it doesn't move. And it doesn't have a plus or minus to movement, so I think it stays put. So we're not going to have to deal with poison, which is nice. But it is going to be doing an attack of +1 at range 2, which means our red guard is going to be attacked for 2 + 1. So it is doing 3 damage, -2, which is good. So we're doing 1 damage to the red guard, which isn't terrible. Could be worse. And that is going to end the round. So we're coming into the next round here. Let's see what we got. I think the red guard is capable of taking this thing out. I don't know if that's true or not. Do I have a bottom range attack? I don't. So we're just going to be using this top range, I guess. Or you know what we're going to be doing is we're going to attack of 2 +1. That's our bottom. 3 shield. I just need to use some. We're just going to use this guy, I guess, because we just want to use the basic movement of 2 here. Let's see what our sludges are doing this round. This is taking longer than it should. He's at 36, going to be using hasty assault, a movement of +1, plus an attack of -1 at range of 3. So we need to be under 36. So these would not put us under 36. I guess we could use this one, which will put us at 13. We just need to use the basic movement, basically. So 13. So that's going to go. Our hatchet's going to start coming after these guys. So our hatchet, oh, those are my discards. Should probably grab the right cards. Our hatchet's going to start doing damage to these growths back here. So he's going to be doing 2. Do I have 2 range attacks? Add +1 attack to all your attacks this round. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Guess we're going with that. We'll put it at 12, just because. There's really no reason not to. So that is going to put our order at Hatchet, Red Guard, and then Black Sledge, same as it was before. So our Hatchet's going to go first, and we are going to start by using our add +1 to all your attacks this turn. So we gain +1, and then we're going to do our attack of 2 at range 3 against this top growth. And we are also going to be using our wind in order to add +1 attack, +2 range, and we gain an experience. So that puts us up to 6 experience this time. So we gain +1 from our guy here, so that puts us up to 3. We gain +1 from this down here, which puts us up to 4. So we are attacking this growth with 4 and a modifier of... Oh, no. Do nothing. Oh, God. So much planning. So much planning. Here I was last round, a couple rounds ago, saying how the Red Guard is the one who messes everything up, and there it is. The Hatchet finally getting the do nothing. After all that planning, that 4 plus all that damage. Unfortunate. It's going to bring us to the Red Guard, who is going to start by using his attack of 3 at range 2, plus immobilize. It's going to put our Holy up to strong. So we are going to be using that attack of 3. With a modifier of +1. So we're doing 3 damage, +1, -1 because of the shield. So we are doing 3 damage, which is going to take out this sludge. It's finally dead. Thank you. And then we're just going to use our basic movement of 2 on this bottom card in order to move over this way so we can start taking out these growths. I think we are going to take them out before we go take on that back room there. I think it'll just make it a little more focused once we get back there. Now, we don't have to kill all the enemies back there. We just have to kill the growths. The growths are our objective, but the enemies are going to get in the way, so killing them is beneficial. But that's going to end the round. I haven't opened the door yet, so there's no point in us drawing cards for the enemies. We're just going to be going through our cards. These are our last 2 before we can't do anything else. So we're just going to use our basic movement on the bottom here. Oops. An attack of 2 to all adjacent enemies. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to organize it like this. Priority really doesn't matter. We're the only ones going. Movement of 1, heal 6. I don't have an attack. I do have an attack. Attack of 2. It's even a melee attack. Okay, so do it like this. So we are going Red Guard Hatchet. We're going to start by using just our basic movement down here. So just a movement of 2 to bring us 1 space closer adjacent to this growth. And then we're going to be using our attack of 2. We are going to use our Holy to give us +1 attack, and we are going to be gaining an experience. So that's going to give us 3 attack total with a modifier of +0. So this growth is going to take 3 damage, bringing us to our Hatchet, who is going to be using his basic movement of 3. Doesn't really matter if we use the basic movement of 2 or we use the movement of 3. Not a huge deal. So we're going to be using the movement to come 1 space closer to the growth. We're going to be using our attack of 2. It does not have a favorite token on it, so that doesn't matter. But we are doing an attack of 2 with a modifier of +1. So we're going to be doing 3 damage, which is going to take out this growth. So that is the first growth we've taken out. Growth 1 of 7 have been taken out. And that is going to bring us to the next phase. So we have to do a short rest in order to continue. We discarded a lot of cards as the hatchet. So he is going to be running out of cards quicker this round than the red guard will be. We are going to be discarding our attack of 2 and shield of 1. I am okay with that. That is fine. And for our hatchet here, we are going to be discarding. Our movement of 3 and add 1 attack to all your attacks. That is okay. I'm fine with that. So that's going to bring us into our next round here. We are going to start off. We're going to do an attack of 2 at range 3 with our red guard. And then we are going to get some movement going on, I think. Do I still have that movement with jump? It would get me around a little quicker. That wasn't a discard, I don't think. No, here it is. Movement of 4 with jump. All enemies move through, suffer 1 damage. All enemies move through, suffer 1 damage. I guess the growths would also suffer that damage, seeing as they are enemies. So I'm wondering if 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be good. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. That's good. So we're going to go like this, 29. And for the hatchet, we're going to try and take these guys out here. So we're going to be doing... Now I also have a movement with jump on the hatchet, I think, and a movement with jump would be nice right now. Move 3 with jump. That'll be useful. And then where is my attack against 2 targets? That's an attack of 1 against 3. I thought I had an attack of 2 against 2. Or was that something that was discarded? My attack of 3 against 2 was a discarding card, so we used that already, so that's okay. But we are going to do this attack of 3. Or sorry, no, we're using the movement with the jump on that one, and then we will do... I don't know if that really matters. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. So an attack of 2 at range of 3, or heal 2 to 1 ally adjacent to the target, but we don't really need that at the moment. So we're going to go with that. So it'll just be red guard and then hatchet. So the red guard is going to start by using its movement of 4 with jump. All enemies moved through suffer 1 damage. Or, if we use our... Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, I didn't think about that. So we wouldn't even have to worry about taking this one out with... So we wouldn't really have to use... it's fine. We can still use it like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our movement of 4 with jump. We're also going to use our holy icon here. And it is going to give us 2 damage instead of that 1 damage to any enemy that we pass over. And we're also going to gain 2 experience, but we do have to discard this card, unfortunately. So that one's going to be discarded, but we gained 2 experience for the red guard. And we're going to do 1, 2 with our jump. This is going to deal 2 damage to this growth, which is now going to make this accessible. And we're going to go 3, 4. Correct? Nope. Yes. Attack of 3 at range 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come here towards this guy here. And then we are going to use our attack of 3 at range of 2, which would give immobilize, but we can't really immobilize something that isn't attacking us or moving. But it is going to let us put the Holy back into the waning. Oh, that does not get put into the lost pile. That just goes to the discard. So we are currently doing an attack of 3 against this growth here with a modifier of -1. So we're doing 2 damage to this growth. So hopefully next turn we will be able to take these growths out and we can start making our way to the back. Sorry, we did 2 damage. So that puts it at 4. Oh no, they had 6. Yeah, that puts it at... Wait, hold on. 3 minus 2. They had 6, so yeah, I only need 1. They have 4 left. And then with our hatchet, we are going to be using our... I guess I really don't need this movement of 3. Attack of 3 with range of 2. Yeah, we can do it like that. We can do it this way. We can do it backwards. So we're going to use our movement of 3 so that we don't have to discard this card by using it. But we're going to use our movement of 3 in order to move 1, 2, 3, I guess. And then we're going to use our attack. Oh, attack of 3 at range 2. That's not going to work, eh? Because I won't be within 2 range, and I don't have wind on anything. So I can't add that extra range. I really don't want to have to discard this bottom card. I'm already discarding quite a bit. Although I think that discard's only if I use the immobilize. Target all enemies on adjacent hexes. Because it's under the line. So I don't think it gets discarded from using the move 3 plus jump. So I think we should be okay with that. We were here, right? So if we move 1, 2, 3, that doesn't get discarded because we're not using the bottom one. We're not moving the bottom. That just doesn't go to the lost pile. That just goes to the discard. And then we're going to use our attack of 2 at range 3, which we can actually do now. So we're going to use our attack of 2 at range 3 with a modifier of +0. So this guy's going to take 2 damage, which is going to leave him with 2 damage. And that is going to end the round, bringing us into the next phase here. Now, we pretty much just want to kill both of these guys. So what can we do in the shortest... What's the best way to do this so that we're not wasting good cards? Attack of 3 at range 2, I would probably want to keep for when we go up. Each time after an adjacent enemy attacks you, that enemy suffers damage equal to your shield value, which is nothing. Our shield value does not exist. So we could use that one for our basic attack because that's not huge at the moment. And then we could use this for our basic move, and we could take out this growth here just with 2 and hope we don't get a bad modifier. And for the hatchet, we're going to try and get over to that other growth on the far side there. So we don't need to move all that much. We can use a basic move. Let's use this movement of 1 here. We should be able to get a 3 or even a range of 2 because we can use the basic movement of 2. An attack of 2 at range 3. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Okay, so we're going Red Guard and then Hatchet. So we're going to start by just using our basic movement. So we're just going to... Well, if I'm using these anyway, I may as well use this attack of 3 at range 2. I guess there's no reason not to. So we'll use this attack of 3 at range 2 opposed to moving closer and then attacking with him. Maybe that was what I was planning on doing. Yeah, I was just going to move closer and use a basic attack, but there's no point. So we're going to do an attack of 3 with a modifier of +1. So we're doing 4 damage to this growth, which is going to kill it. And then I think we're just going to use the heal 2 on ourselves, right? We could heal the hatchet. He does have less HP than us. So maybe we'll use this heal 2 on the hatchet. We'll actually help the hatchet out. Why not? We'll use the attack the way it's supposed to be used. So let's go bring our hatchet up to 7 HP. And that is going to bring us to the hatchet's turn. We're going to use this movement of 1, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're going to use this movement of 1 to just come 1 closer. Then we're going to use our attack of 2 at range of 3. Now we don't have the wind, so we can't activate the bottom there, but we are going to be doing an attack of 2 with modifier of +1, which is going to kill this growth here. We now have 4 of 7 growths dealt with. Not too bad. And now we can start making our way to the door. So that's going to end that round. And we can now make our way to the door back there. I'm wondering if either of these guys can hit the door this turn. We could use this movement of 5 on the red guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he wouldn't quite make it. And we'd have to discard the card, which I don't really want. Movement of 3, movement of 4. So the red guard's not going to make it regardless of what we use. So I think we might just use this movement of 4 to get close. Although I do want to save this because I think this would actually be really helpful once we get into that room. I think that'll help once we get into the room over there. We could do a heal 4 on ourselves just to get some HP back, which I think we'll do. Just because we're going into... You saw how much damage those black sludges were doing. Plus, if those rats die beside us, they're going to do a good chunk of damage. And then we'll just try and get a little closer. We'll use this... we're going to have to discard it, but we'll use this movement of 5. It's not that big of a deal. And it doesn't really matter what way we do this. Can the hatchet get to the door? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He needs 5 to get to the door. I think he has a movement of 6 somewhere. It may have been on one of the ones we discarded. Nope, nothing is going to allow us to get there. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do a movement of 3 to get as close as we can. And then we're... I was going to say we could use this heal of 6, but we only have 2 HP that isn't. Place one of your character tokens on this card. You may add +3 attack to any of your ranged attacks by moving the token from this card to the target after attack ability is resolved. When that target dies, place this token on the hex in which it died. If you loot the hex, return it to this card. Now, the way I interpreted this card when we first got it was that if you don't loot the token in the same turn, that is when having to discard it comes into play. So we might be able to use that. I'm going to have to look into the official rules for that because I don't understand why it would have the infinite long rest thing and why it would have a discard. I definitely need to look into properly look into how that works. So we aren't really going to be doing anything here. So I think we're just going to use up one of our basic attacks. So we should have to find something that's not really going to be a detriment to us. I do want to keep this one because attacking three enemies in one go is incredibly beneficial. So I am going to want to attack, especially putting muddle on all of them. Disadvantage on everything would be really good. So I think, could we use this? Would this do anything for us? 1, 2, 3. We get us pretty close. If we use our move with jump of 3. But I'm wondering if I want to keep this +3 to range. I think I want to keep that +3 to a range attack. We're going to hold off on that. It's not a huge deal anyway, so we'll use movement of 2, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, we'll use... Oh, but that... I'm trying not to discard cards here that we could possibly use. Attack of 2 at range 4. Okay, this one's fine. We can use up this guy for movement. And we just have to find a card we don't really need. Attack of 3 at range 3. We're going to be going into that back room with a pretty short thing here. But I think we just gotta use this guy here. Might be our best bet at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna go Hatchet Redguard. So the Hatchet is gonna use his movement of 2. Just using a movement of 2. We're gonna come here. Then our basic attack isn't gonna do anything for us. And then for the Redguard, we're going to use the movement of 5. We would get to loot each hex, but there's nothing to loot. And we will gain 1 experience on the Redguard. And it is also discarded. So we're going to move 5. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to use heal 4 to ourselves, which is going to put us up to 10 HP, and we gain another experience. So 6 experience total, and we are now up to 10 HP, which is good. That's going to end the round. We are now going to be kicking in that door into the back room. Wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. I don't know who I want in first. The Redguard currently has more HP, so it might be more beneficial to have the Redguard kick the door down. So I think we're just going to use a basic movement somewhere. The Shield of 3 could be beneficial if we're kicking the door down, but I don't think I have movement on the top row, so that wouldn't be helpful. We only have movement from the bottom. So I think we might just end up using this. No, because that top's super beneficial. That top could actually help us if we're going to kick the door in. An attack of 2 at range, although we're only going to have one person at range at the time. So maybe we can use the movement of 2 on there. Do I have an attack? Do I have a better range attack currently? Do I have a better range attack? I don't think I have a better range attack. Okay, I think I got a plan here. I think I got a plan. Alrighty. And for the hatchets, are we going to be able to get in? Do we have a lot of movement? 1, 2, 3. We'd be on the door. 1, 2. We are not going to be we're not really going to be doing any attacking this turn, it doesn't look like. So I think what's going to happen here, Moon of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we would end up on... Well, what if we had the hatchet kick the door in then? That might be the way to do it, but we would have to change up our things here, or the Redguard's going to go first. Easiest way, 17 is the lowest we have, so we'd have to have something under, or something over 17. Attack of 2 to all adjacent. Yeah, we can do it like that. That's fine. So we'll keep this one for now. We'll switch out for this one, 38, so that the Redguard will be going second. And then we're going to have the hatchet kick the door in. So we're just going to be using a basic movement on something, I think. We'll use it on this one because that melee attack we don't do a whole lot on anyway. We don't typically use it. And then I think we're going to set up our +3 here. And then next turn, we'll be in good shape to use these two. So we're going to do this as 17. Okay, so we're going hatchet and then red guard. So the hatchet's going to start by using his favorite. So we're going to add a token to this card, and it's going to allow us to do +3 once we use it up. So I need one of my tokens. It's going to allow us to add +3 to a range attack, which is good. Now we're just going to use our movement of 2 down here in order to... Oh, I need a movement of at least 3. Did I have a movement of 3 on something? I think I did. I don't think I was paying attention there. I have to use this movement of 3. Sorry. We're going to use this movement of 3, add +2, and gain experience if you killed an enemy, which we did not. So 1, 2, 3. We have now kicked the door in, and we are now in the back room, which means that our enemies are now going to attack us. So we got priority 85, priority 21. So the rats are going to be going first, then the black sludge, and then the hatchet will be down here. So our rats are going with swarm. They have a movement of +1, so they're doing 1 movement +1 movements, so a total of 2 movements, and they're doing a melee attack for +1. If the target is adjacent to any of the monstrosity allies... Oh, +1 if the target is adjacent to any of the monstrosity allies. Yeah, which it will be. If the target is adjacent to any of the monstrosity's allies. Oh, it won't be. So it won't get that +1, because while we will be adjacent to the one attacking us, no one's adjacent to one of the allies. So we won't have to worry about that. But these rats are going to go, starting with the elite. It is doing a movement of 2, so it's going to move 2 closer to us. This rat, he isn't going to do an attack because he's not within range to do an attack. But this rat, however, is going to be able to do an attack. It's going to come at the door at us. And he is doing an attack of 2, -1. Not going to be getting the +1, so he is doing an attack of 1 with the modifier of -1. So we take 0 damage on the hatchet, which is A-okay with me. I am okay with that. That's going to bring us to Black Sludge, who is doing the what is it? Septic Hex. Sorry, I couldn't read the text there for a sec. It was a little hard. I couldn't see the T there. I thought it was Sepic, and I was like, that's not what the word was. Closest enemy in line of sight, regardless of range, suffers 1 plus level divided by 2 rounded up damage. So, as we learned last time, 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So our hatchet is going to be taking 1 damage of health from each of these guys with a modifier of +0. So he is going to be taking 2 damage. And those guys aren't going to heal anything because they have not taken any health yet, but it is going to move grass into the strong. And we are going to shuffle these guys up. And we are going to continue on with the red guard's attack now. So our red guard is going to make his way into the... make his way into the thing here. Target all adjacent enemies. Interesting, I'm at 10. That wouldn't be bad. I probably wouldn't kill either of them, so it wouldn't be an issue. Probably wouldn't be an issue. Huh. I mean, I'll have to use the top. I actually think I just found a better thing here. So we're going to use our movement of 4 to move 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to come in between rats number 2 and rats number 5. And then we're going to use our attack of 2 to attack all adjacent enemies. We're going to use our waning holy token to gain +1 attack. We are also going to gain 1 experience. So we are currently doing an attack of 2 + 1. So we're doing 3 attack with a modifier of ×2. So we're doing 6 damage to both of these rats. Now that is going to kill rat number 2, which means we are going to suffer 1 damage because of being adjacent to it when killing it, but that is okay. We're also going to be dealing 7 damage to rat number 5, right? To rat number 5, who only has 1 HP left now, seeing as elite rats only have 7 HP. So he is also almost dead, which is actually great. The red guard pulled through by using that, by getting that ×2 for all the times that he has drawn the do nothing. The ×2, the ×2 was a good, The ×2 was a good. Good job, red guard. Good job. And that is going to end the round. So moving into the next round, we just want to do an attack first. I think we want to take out that rat if we can, preferably not adjacent to it, although it really doesn't matter if we're adjacent to it. We have 9 HP. Taking 2 HP shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to attack the rat and not worry too much about being next to it. Though we don't have to be next to it. We don't. We could use our attack of 2 against 2 targets here. We could attack one of the... knock the camera. Sorry about that. We could attack one of the sludges as well. And then just use a basic movement on something. So I think that might actually be what we do. So we're... Oh, I guess I should see what their priorities are so we can try and strategize a bit here. Our rats have... Oh, shit. Have a priority of 9. And our sludges have a priority of 36. Do I have? I do not have anything lower than 9. That rat is attacking us first. We are not getting out of that unless my hatchet has something lower than 9. Which it does not. I only have 2 things left, so we're just going to use these guys here and figure out the strategy later. Attack of 2 at range of 2 against 2, and then we'll do the movement of 2. We'll keep our strategy here. I think it'll be okay. So our priority is going to be the rat monstrosities, then the red guard, then the hatchet, and then the black sludge. So the rat monstrosity is going to be doing a movement of +1 to his movement of 1, right? His movement of 1. He needs to be within range to attack, so he is probably going to back off a little bit so that he is not gaining disadvantage. So he's going to be moving back 1 space. I guess he could move back 2 spaces, though, because it would make him harder to hit. So if he moved back 2 spaces, and then he's going to be attacking our red guard for an attack of 2 -1. So he's doing an attack of 1 with modifier of +0 because elite rats always have advantage. So he's doing +0 instead of that do nothing, which I would have preferred that he got, but he did not. And I'm thinking that because because it got pulled up, the deck still gets shuffled, but the rat is going to be doing 1 damage to our red guard. So we're going to do 1 damage to our red guard. And then we are going to... Is that it for... I think that's it for the rats, right? Just 1 damage to the red guard? Yeah, so we're moving on to the red guard. The red guard's next to attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our movement of 2 to move 2 to just come up 1 space to right here. And then we're going to use our attack of 2 at range 2 to 2 targets plus pull, which really we're just trying to kill the rat here, and we won't have to worry about pull if we do kill the rat. But we are going to be doing our attack of 2 at range of 2 against our elite rat and our black sludge here with an advantage of +1. So we're going to be doing 3 damage to the rat, which is going to kill it. And we are going to be doing 3 damage -1 damage because the sludge is shield to black sludge number 5. So it is going to be taking 2 damage. 2 black sludge number 5. And that is going to bring us to the hatchet's turn, which, let's see what we got here, because I really wasn't paying attention to what we actually had. Attack of 1 at range 3 plus muddle. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our movement of 2 on the bottom here. 2, move 2. Now we're going to be using our attack of 1 at range 3 to 3 targets. However, we can only actually reach this black sludge number 5. We are too far to be able to hit black sludge number 3. So we're going to be attacking black sludge number 5 with an attack of 1 with modifier of +1. So he is going to be taking 1 damage because of his shield, and he is also going to be gaining muddle. Hopefully I can find a muddle token easier than I did last time. Alrighty, so it is now the black sludge's turn. So black sludges are going to be doing a movement of 1 + 1. So each black sludge is going to be moving 2 towards us. Is it doing a range attack? It is. I just realized that I accidentally used the rats. I accidentally used the sludge attack for the rat. Anytime a figure attacks the monstrosity this round, that figure suffers 2 damage. So I should have actually... So what would have happened would be... I wouldn't have taken 1 damage from killing him, so I'd be at 9. No, sorry, I wouldn't have taken 1 damage that was dealt to him. But I did attack him. So I would have actually taken 2 damage. So we actually took 2 damage instead of taking 1 damage from that attack against the rat. That's all that happened. Okay, back to this. Sorry. These guys are doing the ranged attacks. So I have to shuffle this up because we got the modifier there. So these guys are moving forward. So sludge, not slime. Black sludge number 3 moved 2 towards us, and he is going to be doing an attack of 2 -1. So he's doing an attack of 1 with the modifier of +0. Both of our guys are within range, so he is going to be attacking the red guard since the red guard had priority. So the red guard is going to be taking 1 damage because of this black sludge. And the second black sludge is not going to be moving forward towards us because there's no point, because he is going to be attacking at disadvantage if he moves forward. So he is also going to be attacking the red guard for 1 damage plus 0 damage. So the red guard is going to take another damage, putting him down to 5. And that will end the round. So black sludge here. Priority 85, going to be doing the septic hex again, so we're going to be taking 1 damage plus whatever it ends up being. I need to do a short rest for the hatchets. We are going to be discarding attack of 1 at range 3, 2/3 plus muddle. That is okay. We should be fine without that. And we still have 2 cards with the red guard, so we are all right in that front. Okay. We are just going to do 10. Get him to go. And then for the hatchets, I think we're going to try and use up our favorite token here. So we're going to try and do a big attack against one of these guys to try and take them out. Just trying to see who's going to be going first here. I think the... Do I have anything that it can attack multiple guys still? I don't. I think we need to do a big hit against 3 to just try and take it out this turn. Do I still have that 6? I used that 6 on one of the earlier sludges, I think. So we're going to have to use this attack 3 at range 3. And we're going to have to try and use this guy to put us at 6, plus whatever our modifier is. I think that's the way we're going to do things. So what are we going to use after that? Do I have any other range moves I can use to attack the... I don't. I don't have a bottom range move. That's okay. I guess we'll just have to get rid of something that really isn't all that useful for us for the time being. Guess we'll just use this guy. We can deal without that for now. It's okay. So 21 on the hatchet. So priority is going to be Redguard, hatchet, and then black sludge. The rats are all gone. So we're going to start with the Redguard, and we are going to do our movement of 3, which is also going to give us Holy. So we're just going to do our movement of 3 to get up to in front of black sludge number 5 here. It's going to give us a Holy thing. Then we're going to do our attack of 3 plus an attack of 1 with push, and we gain 1 experience. So that's another experience that we gain for the Redguard. And we're going to be doing an attack of 3 with modifier of times 2. Okay, so we're going to be doing 6 damage minus 1 because of the shield. So we are doing 5 damage to this sludge, which is going to kill it. That is going to bring us to the hatchet. We are going to do our attack of 3 at range 3. Plus, we are going to use our token to add plus 3. Just if it's killed. Yeah, so we're going to add plus 3 to that attack. So we are now doing 6 plus 2. So we are doing 8 damage minus 1 because of the shield, which is going to kill it. This is going to get discarded because we are not going to be able to pick this up, which is fine, but sludge number 3 has been defeated. That's going to be discarded at the end of the round. And then we're just going to do our movement of 4 here, which is going to give us 1 wind. And we are going to start moving towards this guy over here so we can try and start taking him out. That is going to end the round. We have killed all of our enemies. We just need to kill the rest of these growths before our cards run out. We now need to do a short rest on the Redguard. Discarding the next 5 times, that is fine, that's okay. And the hatchet's still okay. So we are now going into our turn. We are currently beside him, which I guess we don't need to be. Most of our things are ranged, so we're just going to stay in the middle here. No point in putting us within attacking distance if we don't have... Well, do we have a bottom attack? No, most of our things are range at the moment. So we'll stay at range for the time being. Oh, well, that's not true, though. We could do these 2. We'd have 2 plus 2 compared to a range of 3. So this actually might be better. So we are going to use that 4 to move right in front of it. And we are going to use these 2 guys here. And for our Redguard, we are going to... Where are we with our Redguard? Within 2. Do I have any bottom range? Just heal, move, shield, move. Attack of 2, but I'd have to be adjacent, which I am not. So I guess we're just going to do this attack of 3 at range 2 plus immobilize, which won't matter. And then we'll do... That's our top attack. What do we got on the bottom here? There's really not much we can do on the bottom. I guess we'll just do this heal of 2 for no real reason. So our priority is Hatchet and then Redguard. So we're going to start by doing our attack of 3 and gain 1 experience. We are going to be attacking because we have this bottom one here. So we gain 1 experience for the Hatchet. We are doing an attack of 3 with modifier of +0. So this guy is going to take 3 damage. And then we are going to be doing our top attack, attack of 2 with modifier of +0. So he is going to take 2 damage, leaving him with 1 HP. So that guy's almost dead, which is good. And then moving on to the Redguard, we are going to do our attack of 3 at range of 2 plus immobilize, which doesn't matter. Our holy thing is going to end up in the strong. So we are doing our attack of 3. I guess I should have shuffled this because we got the ×2. We are doing our attack of 3 +2. So we are doing 5 damage to this guy, also leaving him with 1 HP. And then we're just going to use our heal of 2 within a range of 2 to heal ourselves because we are within range of 2. So we're going to bring ourselves up to 7 HP. That is going to end the round. We are now going to range of 2. 2 targets plus pull. I don't have 2 targets within range of 2, so that would be pretty pointless. So I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to do this. Well, the other ones are better range attacks though, so I guess we may as well just do this attack of 2 because it's really all we need. And then we'll just try and start moving up towards the other guy there. So we're going to do... Yeah, that's good. We're going to do this, this movement one here. So 14. And for our hatchets... Do we have another? We don't have another attack. I mean, we could just use a basic attack. That is an option. But we could use this opportunity to kind of move over one to get closer to the other one, and we'd still be able to attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I think we're just going to use a basic attack. We're not even going to worry about using a range attack. We're going to use these 2 here. So our order is Redguard Hatchet. Our Redguard is going to start by using the attack of 2 at range of 2 to attack the growth on the far side here. So we are doing 2 -1, which is 1 damage, which is enough to kill this growth. And then we are going to be, we're going to be using our movement of 3 in order to make our way up. 1, 2, we'll just come into the corner here. We're still adjacent to it. 3. And then our hatchet is going to use just the, am I doing this the right way? No, I'm not. It's just going to use the basic attack of 2 against this guy here with modifier of ×2. So we are doing 4 damage, which is going to kill that growth there. And then we will be doing our movement of 3 at +2 and gain 1 experience if you killed an enemy this round. We're mostly using that For the experience gain, not so much the movement gain, because I am not too worried about movement. We actually want to stay at range, so we're actually only going to be moving one space, but that experience is good. It's going to bring us to our next round here. We're going to be using our... We're probably just be using basic attacks, mostly. We're going to be using our attack of 4. Plus we're going to get advantage from using the fire thing. And we're going to gain experience. We're actually going to gain 2 experience, which is good, but the card will have to be discarded, which is fine. That's not a big deal. Do I have a bottom attack on anything? We might be able to take this out right now. I sure do. On the red guard. And our hatchet is going to be last 2 cards, so let's do that. So our order is going to be red guard and then hatchet. So our red guard is going to start by doing an attack of 4, add +3 attack if the target has a negative condition, which it does not. So we'll just be doing an attack of 4. We are going to be able to use our strong fire in order to gain both advantage and 1 experience. And we're going to gain 1 experience for using this card. So we're going to gain 2 experience on the red guard, as well as advantage. So we are currently doing 4 damage +0. So we're doing 4 damage to this growth. And then we're going to use our attack of 2. We are going to use our fire once again to add wound, and we will gain 1 experience. So that is another experience gained for the red guard. And we are doing an attack of 2 +0, which is going to defeat this wound, and that is a total of 7 out of 7 wounds defeated, which is going to complete the scenario for us. So let's go through our conclusion here. Your weapon and face are covered in streaks of black and red, the various viscera of a number of creatures you never imagined you would have to fight before today. Your left eye twitches a little. Well then, you hear a familiar gruff voice behind you. This is quite the mess, and the loss of my students is a horrible tragedy. Haltrip trails off, staring into nowhere with a forlorn look, until his eyes pass down to his hands. In them is a flat, smooth stone covered in a sticky green film. But not all is bad news, he mutters. Based on our tests and the violent reaction the tumors had to that last one especially, I was able to develop a method for sensing when this particular type of organic matter is near. He hefts the stone in his hand. That is what the green glow is. He gives you each a slimy stone of your own, and you spend the next several hours splitting up and scourging the streets of the city, trying to locate more of the growths. In the end, you pinpoint 2 locations, an abandoned set of buildings in the sinking market and a warehouse down the old docks. With any luck, Roland is holed up in one of these places, and you can put an end to all of this. Rewards. Each character gains 1 check mark. So, 1 check mark. That is going to give us an extra perk for each of our characters, which is nice. Also, we have unlocked scenario number 7, Sunken Tumor, and scenario number 8, Hidden Tumor. Now, I believe that this means that we get to select which of the ones that we want to go to next. It is something I will look into before we record the next part. But for the time being, let's add up what we have here for our stats. So each of our characters were able to complete their goals. The red guard did in fact kill a monster with an attack that had disadvantage. So our red guard is going to gain an extra check mark here. And our hatchet was able to never use a long rest because we don't use long rests in general. So that guy was able to do that. And our red guard has gained 11 experience plus the 6 experience for completing the scenario. So he is going to gain 17 experience, which is going to put him up to 77 experience total. 77 experience total. Our Iron Hatchet gained 8 experience plus the 6 experience for completing the scenario, so he is going to gain 14 experience, which is going to put him up to 78. It's going to put him up to 82 experience total. Both of our guys are going to gain a perk because they have completed a full set of checkboxes. So let's go through what we got here. For the Iron Hatchet, replace 1 +0 with a +2. Replace a +0 with a +1 poison. Replace a +0 with +1 wound. +1 immobilize, +1 push. +0 with stun, that could be helpful. Replace a +1 with a +1 stun, that would be more helpful. Add a +2 wind. Replace a +1 with a +3. I might take that +1 with a +3. I think that is the way to go for the hatchet. So we are going to replace one of our +1s with a +3. +2, +1 fire, +1, +2, +2, +3. Here we go. Alrighty, and we need to take out a +1, which is right here. We will add that to our pile of remove cards. We are going to add a +3 to our deck. And for the red guard, let's see what we got. Remove 4 +0s. Replace a -1 with a +1. Replace a +1 with a +2 fire. Replace with a +2 holy. Add a +1 fire holy. Add a +1 shield 1. Replace a 0 with +1 immobilize. Replace a 0 with +1 wound. Now, we've already removed a big chunk of our unbeneficial cards. We could replace another -1 with a +1. That would get another unbeneficial card out of the way. Or we could remove 4 +0s. And I think that is the better option, is removing those +0s, because while it does give us more options for minuses, it also gives us a better opportunity to get our beneficial cards as well. So I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to remove these +0s from our deck. That was 3 and 4. So we are removing those +0s, and that is going to leave us with a smaller pile. But I think that is the way that we're going to go. With that, I think that is pretty much everything for this. We now need to draw a town card. We have to do our city event. Make sure I don't get ones we've done already here. I believe these are the ones we've done. Yeah, these are the ones that we've done. So let's see what we got. You notice a well-dressed Valrath merchant entering the Sleeping Lion, looking completely out of place. He scans the room, grimaces in disgust at any number of activities going on inside. Eventually, he spots your table and approaches. "I have need of your services, mercenaries," he says, though through a perfumed handkerchief. He claims there is trouble at the new docks. It seems there have been some strange happenings no one can explain. Goods moving or disappearing altogether. Eerie noises, visions of horrible demons. I hope you're able to investigate and stop whatever forces may be conspiring to topple our economic supremacy. Option A, demand payment up front. Option B, accept the job proposal. Now, we are mercenaries. We're supposed to be paid for our services. So, I think the logical thing would be to say, I'd like my money before I do this job for you. But I'm wondering if we should accept the job without accepting the money first. It's possible that we could get a better reward for that. But I think we have to ask for our payment up front. I think that's just what we have to do. We're going with option A. The Valorith looks horrified by her aggressiveness, but he soon cracks under the pressure and throws some coins in your direction. Fine, just take care of the problem quickly, he demands as he runs from the establishment. Gain 5 collective gold. New location, Agents of Chaos. Scenario number 1, C9. So, we have unlocked a new scenario that we could go to. Scenario 21 is much farther in the book. I don't know if I want to do that yet, but it is something that we can keep in mind for later. I am definitely going to put in my notes that we have Scenario 21 unlocked because of this city card. Is there a number on these? City card number 18. I'm just going to make a note. City card 18 unlocked scenario, what was it, 21? 21. Okay, so that has been done. We gained 5 collective gold, so I'm just gonna give the 5 gold to our red guard here, seeing as he has no gold, so he now has 5 gold. And that is going to wrap things up for this scenario. So hopefully you guys enjoyed scenario number 6, Corrupted Research. Hopefully I will see you guys all next time when we continue on. But until then, just remember that board games are for everybody, and I hope I will see you all next time. Until then, peace.